everybody, Dr. Ray, and in this video, what I'm going to talk about is why virtual reality is not mainstream yet, why I don't consider it to be, and what it can do to become mainstream. Now, I've been following virtual reality since the 90s with like Lawnmower Man movie. Yeah, you should know what that is if you haven't watched it. I have literally, I mean, this is my Quest 2. I have the Quest 1. I have the previous Oculus headsets. I have the Oculus dev kit. I got an HTC Vive headset. I have a bunch, I literally have a bunch of these headsets like all over the place, like all over my office, everywhere. I've got virtual reality headsets. I've been playing with it. I've been exploring it. I've even been developing in virtual reality, just to give you an idea of how much I really like it and how cool it is. But I still don't think it's mainstream yet. I do think it's improved a lot. So let me give you some stats to start this off. So first of all, Oculus Quest 2 sold 8.7 million units in 2021, which is awesome. The Oculus Store had 1 billion in sales. They haven't, Meta/Facebook didn't describe if that was gross revenue or net revenue. So we don't know if it's like total sales or total profit. That's all we got was 1 billion. Amazing number, by the way. However, I also see that Meta/Facebook lost $10.2 billion on virtual reality in the year 2021. Now they made $2 billion, they had $2 billion in sales, but they still lost $10 million in virtual reality. Which means they're still, you know, this is still like R&D. We're still like investing in this. We're still testing the water. Now, if you're like first of all, a few disclaimers I should tell you. This video is being done in May of 2022. Next month, could all change. Second thing, if you're a huge gamer who loves VR, I'm not addressing you because you're already sold on it. If you know like the fusion of innovations, like you're one of the people who invested in this stuff early, like myself, who thinks VR is like awesome already. But VR is not for the masses yet. And let me explain why and what I think it could do. So I would say, so first of all, the first virtual reality headsets like the Oculus Dev Kit and HTC Vive and stuff like that were just like, no way were those going to get adopted. You had to like set up like these sensors all over your room, and it was like connected to the computer. Computer had to be like super duper like Alienware, like what I'm using right now, like $4,000 computer. I mean, it was like crazy to get the virtual reality headset. So that was like no brainer that those weren't going mainstream. But Oculus, when they released the Quest 1, finally created what virtual reality was supposed to be. A headset that didn't require a computer, had just as good graphics as, pretty much as good graphics as like the Vive and the Oculus, the Rift. And it was there, like we had it. Like they did it with Oculus Quest 1, which I also have laying next to me. They did it. Quest 2, even Quest 2, I almost don't even feel like was much of an improvement over the 1. Like I'm still waiting for like, they like messed with like the strap and stuff like that. Besides some of those downfalls of the Quest 2, it was a better headset. So we finally are at the point where we basically have the technology. I think we're like 1 or 2 gens away from it being more perfected. Like, you know how like you get like the iPhone, like the difference between like the iPhone 12 and our iPhone like 12 and 13 is like nothing. The difference between the iPhone like 9, like, well, I guess they didn't make it. The iPhone like X or 10 and iPhone 13 is still like not much. The difference between the iPhone 13 and like iPhone 1 is ginormous. And we're still at that phase where VR, where like the Quest 2, the Quest 3 is probably going to be a pretty big jump from the Quest 1. So we're still at like that early phase of tech. So that's one of the reasons this isn't going mainstream. It's not perfected yet. We're getting much closer. But that's my biggest reason, number one, is it's not perfected yet. Price is going down. The original headsets, I think my HTC Vive was like $1,000, $1,200 or something like that. New Oculus Quest headsets are a couple $100. So you got that go. So we got like the price down. So price-wise, they're pretty good. And I am starting to notice non-gamers interested in the virtual reality headsets. Like when I bring these somewhere and people demo them, they think they're really cool. Like I show them demos and like non-gamers and they're like all about it. I've had some relatives who are non-gamers, even my parents, like some of the apps so much that they actually bought a headset. So I'm like, okay, I'm starting to see like this uptick, this little trend of this, like it's so ready to go mainstream, but it's not there yet. So what can we do? And now, before I say this, I want to say there are tons of cool things I can do in this. I really love the headset. I like it. I think it's worth purchasing if you're a gamer. There's some really fun things to do. I mean, just some of the games are like so cool, like boxing, Beat Saber, like just some really cool stuff. But what we're missing, the reason this is not mainstream yet, and what's going to make this mainstream is a game seller. Console seller. You gotta have a game. We need the game. Where is the game? Now there are so many cool games out for this, and some games I love and spent a lot of time in. The Star Wars game I spent so many times, like in like the practice part, like just like testing out the lightsaber and stuff. It's fun, but there's no Super Mario Brothers. There's no Legend of Zelda. There's no League of Legends. There's no Halo. There's no Grand Theft. Like, where is the game that's going to make every person be like, I have to play that game, and this is the hardware I need to get it to do it. That's what's going to make this go mainstream. We need the game. There's no game yet. There is no game that's on that level yet. It is just not there. There's cool games, yes. Cool games aren't going to make it go mainstream. Cool games sell 8.7 million units. A seller, a game like Mario sells 100 million units, just to give you an idea, like what like the Wii sells. And that's kind of what I want to see. I'm waiting for when that game comes out. Man, when the Nintendo Wii came out, people who were not gamers were like, wow, I got to play this because it's like motion, and like Nintendo sold it. Oculus hasn't sold it yet. It's not there. That seller is not there. They haven't done it. It's marketing. The game is just not there. That's what we need. We need a game to make VR go mainstream. As soon as that happens, and there's going to be people watching this that are like, it's mainstream. Me and all my friends play it all the time. No. It's mainstream when the people who are not gamers, like my colleagues that I work with and parents and those people, when they're like, hey, this is awesome. We got to buy this because it's got the game. When you start seeing numbers like 40 million units sold last year, it's mainstream. It's done. We got it. We got the game. Until you see that happening, it's not happening. And a lot of people, 8.7 million sales in 2021 is amazing. Remember, that was COVID. People were stuck at home. You couldn't buy. First of all, it was sold out everywhere. And secondly, people bought it because they were stuck at home. Are those same people going to be using it today? Like the people who were stuck at home and bought it just for something to do at home? I don't know. Like if there wasn't that one seller game, like they probably bought it, thought it was cool, played like the Beat Saber trial, maybe bought a game or two, and then they're like, yeah, I'm like on to the next thing. We need the game. We got to get the game. So game devs, man, you create it, you got a huge hit, and you will be marketed by the VR companies. And you're going to create the next Mario Brothers. Like, where is it? That's what I'm waiting for. All right, y'all. Later.